So these are the stacks we're working with, and I'll try and keep it as a super quick showing because I'm pretty sure these are figures everyone else has seen, but there's kind of more of just like an overview of the stuff stacked here, but they're pretty much organized by box shape just because I figured they'd be easier to have them fill the space this way. So just because she's up front, we'll go ahead and take a look at Carrie first. And of course this is the remake, so this is the Chloe Moretz version of Carrie, and this is NECA. I do have the other one as well, obviously, and the backing on the both of these is the exact same. So here is the second one, Miss Moretz here, and of course we looked at the after before the before, if that makes any sense. And as I said, same backing, nothing too fancy there. Let's go ahead and just move them to this stack here, just because they're similar shape. This was actually the first figure I ever bought, and of course, big duh, because it's Evil Dead, and this was back when the Evil Dead 2 Blu-ray release was going on, so of course this was in promotion alongside with that. This is also NECA, yes. There we go. And so of course this was the first figure I ever got, and it had to be this one because Bruce Campbell and Evil Dead. I had originally planned on getting the remaining ones, the Bruce Campbell ones of course. I just never got around to it, and of course now they're probably very hard to find and probably an arm and a leg. I don't know, I haven't really searched it, so who knows. I've got a pretty big stack of stuff here anyway, so may as well just pace myself. So of course we have Miss Elvira, and I believe this is by Monstars if I remember correctly. I'm not too familiar with this company. And of course she's absolutely boobing out as usual. She's all boobalicious. Yeah, they really went into detail on the cleavage. Can't really get a decent side view here, but of course they're probably about the thickness of her head. But I love the detail here. You can definitely see they did put some work into this, or into her. And of course here is our side view. Other side view, which we kind of peeked at earlier, and then the back. So of course apparently another variant happened to have been an eye wink. But I'm happy with just the one. I don't need too many Elviras. I'm okay. And of course my Robert Englund, because I love the Nightmare on Elm Street films. And of course this is Nightmare 6, where we get the backstory of how Freddy got his powers and whatnot. But yeah, everything has remained in its box. For the most part, the boxes are in pretty decent condition. From being kind of stacked up, not in such a well way, you have a little bit of bending, but it's not the end of the world. It'll straighten out over time once they're out in a proper display area. So unfortunately, I just don't have too much room right now, which is why I'm keeping my figures in my closet, which I'd like to believe it helps keep them from fading and the boxes from yellowing, but some boxes suffered regardless, which not too happy, but what can I do? So this next one is from Fanatics, I believe, and this was gifted to me. So this is Bruce Lee, and of course how can anybody not love Bruce Lee? He's like the ultimate fitness guy, anybody who's ever followed him. But yes, the Enter the Dragon version of Bruce Lee here. And you've got some pretty good detail on him as well. And there's just our backing again. The next one, which was also just randomly given to me, is Saw, the Cult Classics, and apparently this is the Hall of Fame series. I don't know if there was actually a thing for that, but yes. So of course we have Jigsaw with his little piggy mask on. And just backing here really quick. Another from Cult Classics. This is Series 2, and we have Mr. Frank the Bunny. Because, of course, who doesn't like old Frankie? And I just love the fact that they just stuck the head in there. And this one is just a little too dark, so it's really hard to show you guys the backing for this fella. And here's my last one for the Cult Classics, and this is Series 2 as well. So we have Leatherface, all suited up and ready to roll apparently. And unfortunately, yes, this box did yellow on me. I wasn't too happy about this, especially because it's the same age as Frank the Bunny and Bruce Lee, but can't win them all. And of course we have our armadillo, which kind of leads me to believe that it's the third one in the series, because they were always joking about armadillos throughout the whole movie, but no, it's the first one. I don't think we ever saw an armadillo in the original film. And here's our backing. And I just saved these guys for last just because for some reason these boxes seem bigger to me and maybe potentially slightly heavier. So I actually got these used off of somebody from eBay, and the only reason I bought them is because they were still in their original packing. And they're pretty much in the same exact condition. So these plastic casings have a bit of yellowing as well. So here we have Mr. Leatherface again, and I love the fact that they just stuck a bucket in there. We've got a severed head and an arm. On the other side we have the longer chainsaw, which this reminds me of the extended one again, also from TCM3. I don't know why I keep seeing that in there, but obviously they're referencing the first one. You can't really see the original poster in the backing or in the background there too well, but of course all these movie Maniacs had kind of a little poster that came with them, and I think Mr. Leatherface has some really good detail on him from what we're able to see from beyond the plastic casing here. But yes, I was definitely very happy with this one. And all three have the same backing, so I'm just only going to show it just this once. Kind of sets the time period there if you recognize any of this stuff. And of course here we have just a few more. Apparently they have Eve from Species 2 and also Patrick from Species 2. I am not familiar with him at all, honestly. And of course, Mr. Voorhees. So originally I had 4 of these, which my 4th one was Norman Bates, and I gave him away in a giveaway that I was having, I believe, sometime last year. So hopefully he went to a happy home. But our next one is Mr. Fred Krueger again as well. And I don't know why there is a little miniature Fred Krueger. We see that it's the original film poster there in the background as well. So this kind of leads me to believe that they're kind of referencing Dream Warriors. I don't know, I could be totally off. I'm just kind of just guessing at stuff. Here you can kind of totally see the bottom logo for these little posters, Movie Maniacs. And once again, I think these have excellent detail on them. You can really see they tried to create the texture in Freddy's sweater. He's got blood splotches on his pants. He has his claw. So, yeah. And lastly, we have Jason Voorhees. And it's really hard for me to see the poster behind him, but I believe that's Jason Goes to Hell. And of course you can see his brain right there. But yeah, I just love the detail that they put into these guys. And of course the machete, I believe a spear. And I don't think he has any other weapons in there. So oh, hatchet, or an axe rather. So I'm honestly not very well versed in Friday the 13th, so I'm not even going to pretend, but I really don't know if this is the first and last time he ever wore gloves. It's a very interesting touch though. Kind of suits him, makes him look like a total badass. But yeah, that is pretty much it. And just one last figure I forgot to include because she's kind of an oddball. She's not really the same box size shapes, but this is actually a custom Carrie figure that I had made because I just really like Carrie. I mean, how could you not? Patron saint of the downtrodden, and you know, if you get that, then you totally get it. But yeah, so this, I forget who she is exactly, but I believe that's a Star Wars character there, and she was just kind of modified, but she just looks very, you know, I'm not really impressed with her. But just the fact that they took the time and effort to make this look like one of the sort of the reaction figures type boxing, and then they obviously did a really good job printing up the cardboard right here. And then just the back of this is just the original Carrie poster. But yes, this is the last one for this video collection, and I'll see what I move into next. And as always, we will talk to you later.